Hello and welcome to the show that would drive to Philadelphia if there wasn't a big accident that prevented us from doing so. Excuse yourself. Welcome to the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast. Rick Crab here, and next to me, coming out of his trash can on Sesame Street, Mr. Christopher Filato.
Stupid drivers! Stupid drivers!
Alright, well, as we mentioned, folks, we were going to give you some coverage of... We were going to go to day one of the New Japan Super Show in Philadelphia, but literally we sat in traffic for 2 hours until...
2.5 hours almost.
Until Maryland State Police basically closed down 95 and diverted people to Route 40. And by the time we were able to get onto Route 40, it was 5:30 and the show was supposed to start at 6. And we were still at least an hour and a half away. So that wasn't going to happen.
No. So, if this is a PSA.
Alright, well, hang on. Not only is it a PSA, it is part of our new segment, our Get Off My Lawn segment. So, Chris, who and what do you want off your lawn?
People who do their cell phones while driving! It's called natural selection. If you're doing that, you're vain and vanity. Like Al Pacino said at the end of Devil's Advocate is my favorite sin. That pissed me off. I've been a fan of New Japan, 30 years? Since we saw Liger on WCW. Then we started getting the tapes from tape dealers. Then streaming stuff and all this stuff. This is a dream thing for me. This is a bucket list thing for me. And because of some idiot on a fucking road, probably on a goddamn fucking cell phone, who would, hey, look, I'm going to do a selfie with driving. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Well, number one, we don't know what the actual cause of the accident. We didn't actually see the accident. I saw like a few
we saw a hazmat truck.
Okay, well that could be anything. It could have been, could have been somebody driving. Could have been like a tractor trailer had a load or something. We don't know, Chris. I mean,
the place you and me used to work at, the day we had the ice storm, they had that accident where we both went to work. It was a blackout.
Yeah.
That I found out that was because of a cell phone. Somebody was on their cell phone driving excessive speeds on an icy road. So 99.9%, most people are about themselves nowadays. It's probably somebody on a cell phone. And I'm waiting for this, and you know it's going to happen. Somebody walking across the street, not paying attention on their cell phone, being hit by somebody driving while on their cell phone. Get off my fucking lawn.
Is it at the Starbucks, which is next to another Starbucks?
This is the Lewis Black segment, isn't it?
Oh.
Ooh, nice. While we're taping this, we're watching tonight's episode of Raw, the Go Home show to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. And luckily, we were heading towards Philadelphia and not going home from Philadelphia because we'd probably still be there if that were the case.
Yeah. And you didn't get your cheesesteak fix.
No, I didn't. And there's a funny story about that. I'll say, folks, I may have mentioned on previous episodes, I do some part-time work as a photographer, kind of an expensive hobby, but I do get some money out of it every now and then. Since our last visit to Philadelphia in July for MLW, I've gone up there a few more times. 3 times in the last week. Would have been the 4th time if not for this traffic that we just mentioned. I went up there on a Tuesday night during the week for a photo shoot, and I lucked out with that, did okay. Then I went to the most recent card for MLW that we reported on previously, and that worked out fine. I got there 2 hours early. Yet, my dumbass, I was hungry before I went up there. I ate at a local convenience store chain called Royal Farms, and I was too hungry to get the cheesesteak then, thinking, okay, I'll get it when MLW closes up. When the card is over, I'll go over. Come to find out, Tony Luke's closed. It was at midnight, so no cheesesteak for me.
Oh, there was that other famous cheesesteak place you want to stay in line.
Yeah, I didn't feel like doing that, though. I wanted to be close by and whatever.
Oh, it is kind of close by to the building. Yeah.
Then I did another photo shoot at the same model's place with another girl, but and I did not get a cheesesteak there, but we went to a great place. If you're in the Philadelphia area, check these guys out. It's called the Three Monkeys. It's a really nice bar. I mean, great food. If you like seafood, you like steaks. Oh my!
I think they've been on Food Network.
It wouldn't surprise me. Their food should be on there. It was banging, and then plus I was with two very photogenic ladies, having dinner then as well. Then there was our little trip the Saturday before this show was being taped. Ay. Now let me ask you this, Chris. You want to just wait until our next broadcast to get the results for that? Or?
Yeah, because the spoilers came out. So where we go again.
All right.
While you're fixing this, so we'll talk about it. A former WWE NXT guy showed up. We can spoil that right now if you want.
Okay.
Buddy Murphy.
Well, let me ask you this: did he actually show up?
It was a video from what I heard, and they're promoting the Los Angeles show. From what
I heard, because what I had heard, they were in negotiations. He was supposed to be coming, but I didn't hear anything about him actually showing up.
They're doing a full blown, not a TV show for their TV, but they're doing a special streaming special from Los Angeles coming up, and apparently Jay White called out Kota Ibushi.
Okay.
But like I said, we're watching Raw right now, the Go Home show. You want to say about this? Anything about this?
Not really. I mean, the first round looks like the New Day had won their match.
Well, the finals.
Yeah, and they're looking at the stupid King of the Ring, whatever.
King Xavier, maybe.
Yeah.
And is Kofi going to be his court jester?
And from other videos we've seen of Xavier Woods, he's holding a scepter now. He really doesn't need to hold another one.
Was he doing the James Brown walk?
I had no idea.
He was doing the James Brown walk.
Or is he supposed to be Thor and Kofi's flapping a cat?
Or is it supposed to be Shazam?
Who knows?
The finals of the King of the Rings for Saudi. We're doing this as we're taping Raw. Will be Finn Balor versus Xavier, which will probably be a great match.
Yeah.
But again, it's Saudi Arabia. I won't watch a Blood Money show at all. I won't go near it. I'll read results. And it'll be interesting the day afterwards to see how these people are going to be after an 18-hour flight back for a SmackDown the night after.
Well, I imagine it'd be difficult for a lot of people to watch it, even if they wanted to, because of the time it'll be on. It'll be on
noon our time.
Yeah, noon at Thursday Eastern time. If you're on the West Coast, it'll be 9 a.m.
Yep.
So unless you're taking off from work or you're at a job where you can watch it without the boss watching over you, maybe. But
I'm watching this for interview. I wonder if she's squatting down so to make him look taller.
Supposedly, oh geez.
Oh god, here.
Yeah, the 24/7.
The Benny Hill
model. Yeah, with the Benny Hill. Oh boy, who cares?
They're just keeping him on here because he's a flippity floppity guy. Oh, this is an interesting wrinkle. We're seeing R-Truth and Austin Theory face off right now.
All right.
But now going to the more important things, what we saw this week and what happened, and a certain pay-per-view that sold out this weekend. Do we going to get to that first?
Sure.
Impact Wrestling is making...
Wait a minute, I thought you said a pay-per-view that sold out.
It did sold out.
Why?
For Sam's Town.
Well, place only hold like 200 people? Or
1,500. I mean, Ring of Honor's had shows there.
Okay, Chris, all right.
But, hey, it's better than the 100, 200 you've been seeing in front of them on the studio shows. They actually have real fans. Not relatives of the fucking stage crew. But, like I said, it's going to be interesting. They're going to be doing 2 days of TV taping afterwards. We're going to see how many people are going to show up for that. Because they're selling tickets for that, too. I just found out before we started taping that Ace Austin, former X Division champion, and his girlfriend Gia Miller, who's the interview girl, just lost everything in their apartment to a fire. They're counting their blessings that they're still alive. And you want to talk about, real quick, on a side note, you want to talk about Rhea Ripley and her misgivings?
Go to Impact. Stay consistent. You do this all the time.
Okay.
You're like, well, going back. Stop skipping around.
Okay.
Got it. Get it back
This
over.
is the matches, and this is what Wikipedia is giving me. We have a tournament final intergender six-way for the Digital Media Championship. What is the Digital Media? Is this going to be like the Zack Ryder?
Sounds like it's going to be sponsored by Rob Black.
Is it like the Zack Ryder belt he had?
Oh, it's a TV belt, but a lot of indies have been doing like internet title, calling it an internet title instead.
Well,
Or
MCW has Reach
YouTube.
TV, but they don't have any TV.
Well, they do. It's their YouTube channel. But yeah.
It's John Schuyler, who I've never heard of, versus Crazy Steve, versus Falaba, versus Jordan Grace, versus Chelsea Green, versus Madison Rain, versus Alicia Edwards or Tennille Dashwood. Depends on the upcoming tapings for this week. For the world title, the guy who cashed in option C for his X Division title shot, for a world title shot, Josh Alexander versus Christian Cage.
Okay.
Mickey James going after the knockout title against Deanna Purrazzo. We're both big fans of both workers. Then you have a Call Your Shot gauntlet match. They had a battle royal at the last tapings, at the last show. The winner of the battle royal would have been coming at number 20. The person eliminated last by that 20th would be coming in at number 1. And I'll get to that. But Rich Swann versus Brian Myers versus Moose versus W. Morrissey versus Chris Sabin versus Raja Singh versus Ace Austin versus Laredo Kid, who we both like, versus Madman Fulton versus the Drama King, Matthew Ryholt, and 9 other to-be-announced competitors. They're promising surprises.
I'm surprised that they didn't, I don't know, they have enough paper to write all those fucking names on the card.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a little bit, too, because of something I saw on Russell Talk. Tournament final for the vacant X Division title. Trey Miguel versus Steve Macklin, who was in the Forgotten Sons, versus El Fantasma, which will probably tear the house down. Then...
Wait a minute, you have all those people and you have a vacant title?
Because Josh Alexander vacated to get the title shot. They've been having running tournament matches. And then you have the Knockouts Tag Team title. Decay versus what used to be the Iconics, now the Inspiration. I can't wait for this one. I really can't wait for this one.
A lot of people would be glad to see them back, but yeah.
Heath Slater, or Heath, and to be announced, because we just don't know where Rhino is going, against Violent by Design. Eric Young, they're doing the Freebird rule. It's going to be Eric Young, Diener, or any two of Eric Young, Diener, and Joe Doring. It's going to be probably Diener and Joe Doring because Eric Young thinks his legs still shredded up. But it looks like a good card. I mean, it looks like a good card. It's going to be and from what I read previously at the Motor City Comic Con at the bar, Braun Strowman, Adam Shearer had a very lengthy discussion with Scott D'Amore. There has been a play by Impact to bring Braun Strowman in.
Yeah, I heard that, and I had also heard there are still negotiations for Bray Wyatt and Rowan, which means you could see the Swamp Ass trio again.
Would you want to see the Wyatt family in Impact?
It could probably work there. I mean,
They're doing the spooky shit with Sue Young.
Right, they already had, and they had the total deletion without them, and with Matt Hardy there. I mean, I don't know.
And like I said, you had the whole thing of Allie and losing her soul and Undead Realm and all that bullshit. And with with one of my buddies, James Mitchell. But overall, I'm looking forward to Bound for Glory. Granted, the start time. Did you hear about the start time on the East Coast?
What time?
10 o'clock at night.
On what night?
Saturday night.
Well, they're probably trying to get like the West Coast viewers. That's what UFC does the same thing.
Well, they're doing that because I think the start time, and they're Mountain Time in Vegas, is 8 o'clock. So they're probably going because they're starting at 8 o'clock.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And I would love to see how the crowd reacts. They react to a real crowd instead of like I said, the friends and family producers, crews, and all that. You know,
Right.
and we haven't seen them in front of a crowd since the pandemic started. Really, when they were traveling and doing like bulk tapings. They're still doing bulk tapings, and the 2 days of taping. Who's going to be doing the taping with them?
Who?
The man who laughs.
Oh. The man that caused the traffic jam.
Yeah. Maybe it was the guy's shoes he brought.
Right. He was probably like sucking energy from the nuclear reactor outside of Aberdeen.
Yeah. Hey, we'll get to that in a little bit because I love that you had problems. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Now, I want to get to NXT because did you watch any of it last time?
I refuse to. No, that's no.
Because they gave Swerve Scott an out, so he would come up to the main roster without the North American title. There's a guy on there named Cyan Quinn who caught my eye. He's an island boy. He's another Tongan Samoan. He does the whole what's that war chant they do in the beginning?
I forget, but I know
the hookah or the hunka.
I know he was kind of
He's doing the whole thing with that, and I don't like the finish. He does the flying forearm like Manny Fernandez did, or Tito Santana. And it's kind of, I always thought that was a weak finisher.
All right.
But the only thing I like that a lot of people don't like, and maybe because they're easy on the eyes, is Toxic Attraction. I don't know where they got Gigi from. I think they got her from Shimmer. I think they got those two from Shimmer.
Okay.
Lacey Lee, or whatever her name is, and for the upcoming Halloween Havoc special, I think it's not the Tuesday coming up, but the Tuesday afterwards, after this taping.
Right.
Is we're going to have Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal.
Right.
What the hell? Oh, Hardy. Okay. Where Raquel Gonzalez against Mandy Rose, they're going to have to spin the wheel and make the deal.
Right.
Please let it be a lingerie match. Because if Strowman signs on another company, they're going to take it out on Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Even though I heard Strowman's trying to get his job back here in WWE.
It's a shame Jason AEW because it'd be perfect if he was like the guy who spun the wheel there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, if Strowman did find a new home, if he came to AEW, wouldn't he be perfect for Jake Roberts? Have him and Archer as a team?
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be a monster team. Yeah, Murder Hawk Monster and Monster Among Men. But ever since Vince did that trip down in July to the Performance Center, I said the last show, writing's on the wall. And now it's Laurinaitis and fucking Pritchard Danner, and they're looking at guys that they think Vince wants without talking to Vince. And like I said, we haven't seen Gargano since the wedding. And that bullshit segment with the honeymoon.
Alright.
His contract's up. He's taking down all NXT references on his social media. That could be just an angle. We don't know how they work here anymore. Right. Kevin Owens' contract is up. He's already putting, we've been saying this about Matt Cordis and Mount Rushmore. And pictures of his dog. Who else is... I'm worried about Tommaso now. Because you know he's going to give it to Steiner's kid. He's going to drop the down at Halloween Havoc to Steiner's kid. Who, by the way, Braun Breaker is the stupidest fucking name ever. And like I said, Swerve Scott, we dropped the title to Carmelo Hayes, he won the Breakthrough Tournament, and he had a contract for any title shot he wanted. So he signed it right there after Scott and Santos Escobar had an excellent match.
Okay.
Like I said, after that, I got to watch Impact because I couldn't watch SmackDown because I don't have cable, and I had to wait a day afterwards to watch it. And on well, I waited the Sunday after to watch it in AEW because we were busy hating life Saturday.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
But we got the winner of the Call Your Shot Battle Royal was W. Morrissey. He goes into number 20. The loser of that Battle Royal who has to go to number 1 is Chris Sabin.
Oh, jeez.
Sabin can go. He's an X Division guy. So, and they're letting them do the, remember his old finisher, the Cradle Shock?
Uh-huh.
They're letting him use it again. And the Grit Brothers have no opponents for Bound for Glory, so they might be bringing somebody from the outside in for that.
Gotcha.
Who would you like to see against the Good Brothers? As much as me, you don't like the Good Brothers.
You're the one that doesn't like the Good Brothers.
I don't like Gallows. I just don't like Gallows. He's just a big. He's there.
I don't know. Maybe see Team Swamp Ass against them if they form.
If they show up, yeah. Well, as of this taping, Bound for Glory is October 23rd. His no compete clause is up October 29th.
Mm.
So he can't go in. He can't show up for Bound for Glory.
Right.
And he can't even show up for the TV tapings.
Oh, jeez.
So he has to wait at least another 3 or 4 weeks before that. If he'll probably show up in one of the streaming specials. Now, do you want to get to SmackDown? What we both saw.
Sure. Go ahead.
What did you think of the Edge segment at the beginning?
It was another,
generic thing.
Right.
Hey, what was it? It's because I was listening to Cornette's review of NXT about heavily scripted promos. That was a heavily scripted promo. Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. It was pretty good.
Right.
It was good. I don't know what they're doing with Naomi.
They probably don't know either.
With the whole Sonya thing. Is Sonya unretired?
They don't know. They make up stuff at the last minute. I mean...
Let me guess. You want to say it, or should I? Lazy booking.
Yep.
Then we had the Seth segment. Which, I'm beginning to like Seth's promos.
Right.
He's like over the edge, kind of bonkers promos. And the suits. You want to talk about the suits?
Harley Quinn. Bop, 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 bop. Yeah.
My God, I saw that. I was like, holy fuck. What kind of outfit? Who dresses her? Becky?
It's probably an old costume of hers that he had made into a suit.
Yeah. Or is it Becky's mom?
Oh. Well, if she looks anything like Becky, Becky's mom's got it going on. But
okay. Then we had Carmella and Zelina Vega, which was what? 3 minutes long?
Yeah.
Oh, spin the wheel. Spin that wheel. It's sad because, well, yeah, great. Carmella's not a good worker. Selena's an okay worker. They should give them more time.
Yeah.
They're getting a lot of... The women's division in both shows are getting heat because they're not giving the girls online. More time. What did you think of the short match, though, with the distraction of Carmella for Zelina to win?
Whatever.
Lazy booking?
Yeah.
Then, this made me go froth at the mouth. I hate Baron Corbin's character.
Right.
Oh, and they gave him a talk show segment, and they gave Riddick more stupid fucking jokes.
Yeah, they're dad jokes, yeah.
They're granddad jokes.
Yeah. I do like the one about the instrument that you play in the bathroom. The tuba toothpaste.
That's an old... Oh, God, I heard that when I was in elementary school. Then we brought Nakamura out, who didn't do anything. Rick Boogs playing... Rick Boogs. Boogs. Yeah, he should be booed.
Yeah.
Boogs playing his little guitar solo and doing his Nakamura in entrance. I didn't care. I just didn't care. Did you? At all?
I just saw results of this, Chris. I watched the YouTube buy-in for AEW, to be honest with you.
The Uso Street Profits was really good.
Okay, well.
And everybody, when I was reading Twitter the night of this, was raving about Becky and Sasha.
And that was during the part that they competed against Rampage.
And
right?
they want no commercial free for that last half hour against the commercial free of Rampage.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen the numbers yet because I would love to see who won that night.
Well, there were some they had this thing called the Fast Nationals, and supposedly SmackDown was in the 700s and Rampage was in the 500s. But they said with the buy-in with YouTube, they had like over 1 million views. AEW had 1 million viewers, which can be inflated because that's replays. That's not just constant,
Well, you know, with Friday nights, you don't know how many people are DVRing these shows too, because it's Friday night and they're stepping out for the night.
Yeah.
But then we got the Brock Roman bullshit. What I write down? Bullshit contract segment.
Which actually was a pleasant surprise.
With with Brock Lesnar actually saying more than one sentence?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was funny how it turned out. I mean, the reason why a lot of those contract segments are bullshit because it's predictable. They're going to get in each other's face and they're going to fight and somebody's going to go through a table.
Yeah.
But this time it didn't happen that way.
Yeah.
It happened
what the hell is this? Did you see The Undertaker rise?
No, I think what's his name actually won the match and he was taking a selfie with Jeff Hardy and then Jeff Hardy gave him the twist of fate. Yeah.
Well, Hardy said in our previous promo saying he's going to be a new identity, a new ID, a new him. Are we going to be seeing the return of Willow?
There's rumors of that, though.
Or what was the one where he was wearing the pantyhose over his head?
It was on Impact. I didn't see it, Chris. Okay, let's get back to... I want to get back to something about Heyman with this contract signing, though. That was brilliant how they did it, and then Heyman actually did... On the day of the taping, he actually posted an interesting post on his Facebook and his Twitter.
I saw that posting, yes.
And he basically said, after Crown Jewel, I will be coming back with the Universal Champion, which is it could go either way. He could go with
the
Tribal Chief or the Young Lumberjack. Yeah.
I still call him the hipster one. Seeing him as an advocate or the wise man.
All right.
Oh, we got color on this show.
Yeah, that was from last week.
Yeah.
But Cornette, I think you made fun of Lesnar. He was calling him you kind of Cornelius. He said he said that Brock is stealing his gimmick. It's funny, but yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, it was there. It was a show.
It was there, and it was not on my TV because, like I said, I was watching the...
Because we can talk about that now.
Yes.
Like I said, I watched this after the Ravens game.
Yeah.
I watched the buy-in first, which Tay Conti, Santana Garrett. Santana Garrett is one of Vince's throwaways.
Right.
What did you think of Santana Garrett?
What the hell are you talking about?
The buy-in match, the Tay Conti match with Santana Garrett.
Oh, okay. Actually, I just saw the tail end of that. It's just my computer, but no. I mean, it was a good women's match.
Yeah, she's got that. How about Lee Moriarty versus your new best friend?
I felt like I was watching MLW Fusion again.
Yeah.
But
is it Lee there? Was it Lee there?
Oh yeah, he was both times. He was the one when July ended.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a good match. Way to build up Bobby Fish. What
did you think of them using his old Ring of Honor theme music?
Not a fan. I like the metal music he had in MLW.
Okay. Because that sounds very Misfitsy, dancing-like.
Yeah, it did sound a lot like Glenn.
Then, the match of the year candidate that everybody was all over about. What, half hour almost?
Well...
Suzuki versus the American Dragon.
I don't know about match of the year. I don't know. I thought he had a better match with
What, Vega?
Oh yeah, that was way better than this match.
Well, you gotta remember Suzuki's age and his style.
Okay, but again, we'll get into that.
Okay.
Pretty much, if it would have kept it to teen wrestling how they were at the beginning.
Yeah.
Danielson, would have twisted Old Man Hit Hard into an Old Man Hit Hard pretzel. Okay. Even though Suzuki does have a great MMA and judo background.
Yeah.
They could have went back and forth, and he did show that later in the match.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was, it's like, this is why it was bullshit. Wrestling, I want my bully to be suspended. When, in a real fight, if I'm wrestling you and twisting your neck and twisting your ankles, I'm just kicking your ass and you don't have a fucking answer, I am not going to get off of you and let you stand, okay, hit me in the chest, take hard. See how hard you can hit me. Fuck you. I'd be trying to break your fucking neck. Mm-hmm. And that's what lost it for me. As much as I do like Suzuki, the whole thing just so he can get his shit in, he let him up so they can...
Well, that forearm that knocked Danielson down was...
That was stiff.
That was stiff.
But Danielson gave him some stiff kicks, too, and knocked him on his ass.
Yeah.
And, he tried hulking up, but he didn't do it.
They both did.
Yeah. But he was hit hard enough where he didn't do his laugh. Which makes me wonder if maybe...
He was hurt for real?
Yeah, or Danielson did something he didn't expect or whatever.
Yeah.
And you notice at the end, though, Danielson did win the match, by the way. Suzuki just took off.
Yeah. Well, they had to because they had to start setting up for the TNT show.
That, and plus he probably had a flight to Philadelphia.
Did you see his Twitter? Right after Rampage?
No.
He's in his hotel room wearing footy socks that look like Green Monster socks.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well.
Then we get to TNT Rampage. Punk Sydal was really good.
Yeah, it was.
Matt Sydal, remember, they're both Ring of Honor guys. I think Sydal was there when Punk was there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So they both talked about IWA working for Ian Rotten. Mm-hmm. I never knew they both worked for Ian Rotten. I knew Punk did, but I never knew Sydal did.
Well, maybe early in his career.
Yeah.
I can't see them, busting light tubes over each other at a 7-Eleven in Indiana. But anyway.
What did you think of the Dark Order segment afterwards, with all of them trying to be on the same page?
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not a Dark Order.
Then you had Ruby Soho versus the Bunny. I love
Bunny.
Fuzzy Bunny. I love me some Bunny.
Yes.
Or we used to call her in Impact Dark Alley.
Yeah.
I like how she does a little head turn.
Yeah.
When she comes
that's just her little psycho look. Yeah.
Like I said, I've met her real name's Laura. I met Laura in CZW when she was Sherry Bomb. Sweetheart of a girl. Very sweet girl.
And I follow her on the YouTube channel, and she does seem like it. Her and Penelope Ford. Yeah. Even though
I still want to see more of the cookie challenge with her and Abaddon. Because I thought that was hilarious.
Go on YouTube, it's funny.
It is hilarious.
It's funny you meant that she wrestled against Ruby because a week before that I saw her do a cookie challenge with her.
With Ruby?
Yup.
On YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I might have to look that up.
Oh, and the most recent one, got it. Eddie Kingston is trying to heal up on her, though. I don't know if you saw this or not, but basically it's like he always complains he doesn't want to be on her vlogs. Mm-hmm. So she tried to extend another, an olive branch, if you will, of offering some cookies. He took the whole pack of Oreo cookies and smashed them.
Oh, no way.
And she's like, Eddie, I can't believe you did that. And then the Blade was just just cracking up laughing, like.
Yeah, What'd you think of the match as a whole, Ruby and Bunny?
It was pretty good, and it's set up with Penelope interfering, set up for the next night with the match with those two, which we'll get to, I'm sure.
How about Inner Circle versus America's Top Team, Junior Dos Santos making his pro wrestling debut. Well, actually, American wrestling debut. Because didn't he work for Triple A?
Yeah, here's the thing with that.
All he did was powerbomb people?
Well, the UFC guys are green, okay?
Yeah.
They're good, but Jericho, I'm sorry, against the Santos, that was a total mismatch. You had this young guy who was buff and moving around, and then you had, it looked like he was hitting a Jericho pinata. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm a fan of Jericho's. I don't want to say that, but this feud is just stupid. It seems like they don't know
another
what to
faction
do.
war.
They don't know what to do with Inner Circle.
It's another faction war. That's what it is. Like they did with the Pinnacle.
It's like something to pass the time until Jericho goes on another leg of tours.
Well,
But-
I heard he just signed to do some European tour.
Right, and he's got his cruise coming up as
Oh,
well.
you do, yeah. Well, a lot of the, not just AEW people. I think a lot of indie guys are coming in from other promotions too.
Right. And another thing about that feud too is just what they're doing with the American Top Team. What they did with the Dork Order when they were under the impression that everybody knew who the Super Smash Brothers were and all that. And when they came out, they was like,
I've only seen them once, and that was in CZW.
AEW, they're not as bad as they used to be, but they're doing it again. They're being lazy with people that are outside of the company. They used to promote, say, this was UFC champion so-and-so, and,
Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah, and, they did a little video package of them working out at the gym in Miami, and they had, Paige Van Zandt and all that. You gotta introduce who these people are. Not everybody knows who they are, especially if you're getting new viewers from Danielson and Ruby and CM Punk and all these other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're trying to get new eyes to the product. You gotta, I know it would be a pain in the ass for hardcore people who've been following them for a while, but you have to give a little bit of exposition.
Yeah. It was like with, at least the WWE did it right with Cain Velasquez.
They did.
And did you hear he's coming back, but not here? He's doing a AAA show.
Oh, okay.
So
It's Mexico, and he's done some shows here before. That makes sense.
I would love to see. I think he's doing the next Triple Mania.
Right.
But you want to move on to the main event, the main show. Dynamite.
Okay.
My best friend Malachi Black.
Yeah.
Against Dante Martin. Good match.
It was a really good match.
But we knew that Black was going to win.
Of course. But it was more to set up the whole thing with Lio Rush.
What did you think of the little nod that Black did at the end?
He gave him respect? Yeah.
He gave him respect, yeah.
That's kind of like a babyface's thing to do. He might be turning a babyface because he's so popular.
Well, we'll talk about that with the Cody Rhodes in a sec.
Yeah.
The Jurassic Express segment with the Super Elite, or the Super Click. Who cares?
Yeah,
Jungle Boy, they're building Jungle Boy up slowly.
You think so?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
Because eventually it's going to be him and Adam Cole, probably at Full Gear.
Right.
Which, I could watch that all day, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Then we had another Inner Circle American Top Team segment. I love Lambert on the mic.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious. But
he would fit in on this show, actually.
Huh?
I think he would fit in on this show.
He's doing the same shtick he did in Impact when he brought King Mo to Impact. And
MLW.
MLW, and I think he was managing Bobby Lashley in Impact before he left also.
Yeah, makes sense.
But Lambert is a national treasure.
Yeah.
He is a national treasure.
He is.
What did you think of this segment, the back and forth between them in Inner Circle?
It was just another promo fest back and forth. Circle jerk and whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
Name calling.
Yeah.
No, that's what it's basically turning into.
It looks like they're going to build up maybe one of the Men of the Year against Sammy for that TNT title.
Yeah, it looks like I think it'll be Scorpio Sky against Sammy.
Be a good match.
It would be an
really
excellent match.
Yeah. Then we get to the AAA tag titles. What were their Mexican names again?
I forget what the Spanish words, but basically they were
Super
called
Frogs.
the Super Frogs. They look like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Basically, the match got ripped off. It's FTR, and they won the AAA tag titles from the Lucha Brothers. I liked it. The match was really good.
It was really good. The whole thing was like I don't know, CM Punk channeled his inner Bobby Heenan, but which side are they on? Basically, he revealed it before the mask taken off. But,
yeah. Spoiler alert.
Right. By the way, CM Punk, I'm glad they have him in there instead of, I don't know, the world's strongest munch mouth.
Let's pay for the meat of it.
Yeah.
Then we had the Dante Martin Leo Rush segment where they're trying to turn Dante heel.
Right.
Could you see them as a tag team, or as Leo being the hype man like he was for Lashley?
Probably more of a hype man, but I don't know. They're about the same age. They should be a tag team. Leo Rush is a damn good wrestler. I wish they would let him do it in.
Well, he's retired so many times we just don't know right now.
I know.
But then we have the FTR segment, backstage segment. It's funny. A lot of people mentioned going back to the tag title match. We didn't see Tully Blanchard till the end.
Yeah.
And no, the FTR segment with the money being handed off.
Right.
From Andrade with MJF. That was hysterical. That was just plain hysterical.
Why do you think that was funny?
It's MJF. Being MJF.
Oh, okay. Which makes no sense. They're making it sound like, Andrade was going to have a mystery partner to go against him for the tag titles.
And everybody thought it was going to be Rush and Bandito, right?
Yeah, and he was just out there basically being a manager. And then it's like, okay, you just paid him off just to fuck over the Lucha Brothers, but okay.
Somebody said this on Twitter, I think today, was Andrade was being used more on WWE than he is on AEW right now.
Oh, yeah. And towards the end, he wasn't being used that much there either.
Do you think it's because of the language barrier?
I think that's part of it. But all you have to do, that's because you have, stupid indie-rific idiots like the Young Bucks running shit instead of people who used to do wrestling back in the day. Because people who used to do wrestling back in the day, if you had a foreign heel or somebody who couldn't speak the language, you got a manager to be his mouthpiece.
That's why they had fucking Chavo.
Right.
And it was supposed to be, the rumors going around, going to be Ric Flair, but Ric Flair got in a little hot water.
Right.
We'll get to them in a little bit.
Yeah, the dark side of the ring.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a little bit too, because I want to talk about the Luna Vachon episode.
Okay.
Then Wheeler Yuta got fed to Moxley. Basically, it was a squash match.
Right. I wonder if Pockets had a treat to give him now.
Then Deeb, full heel Deeb. I love heel Deeb. And Sheeta, did you hear about Punk's comments about the Deeb's hair?
No, what did he say?
He said nice hair on her.
Oh, yeah, I did hear that.
Because remember when she joined Straight Edge, she shaved her head. Mm-hmm. Then we had the Super Elite versus Dark Order, which I liked.
I liked part of it.
I liked the kiss thing with the Beaver Boys.
That was funny.
That was hilarious.
What was even better, though, was the shoe and sock stuff, and we saw the return of Mr. Sacco.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Well, I know one thing. Cornette likes to call him Pizzeria Uno. I wouldn't eat any more. If he handed me pizza, I wouldn't take it anymore now, so.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
What'd you think of that match?
It was typical between those groups.
Well, we're still waiting who the new leader of the Dark Order is if he shows up in AEW.
Right. Yeah, it's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not if it's a win. If he signs with AEW.
Who are you talking about?
Bray.
I thought he's going to Impact.
We don't know where Bray's going to go. We don't know. But what did you think of the Cody and Arn thing at the Nightmare Academy?
It's pretty much what I said it was going to be. They're going to try to toughen him up. They're going to try to make him dark, and I don't know.
It's going to be him and Vince Black at the next Dynamite. Which, again, we're not going to get a Wednesday episode again because of hockey.
Right.
But, are we going to see a darker Cody Rhodes then?
I think that's what they're trying to do. It kind of reminds me of what they were trying to do with Hulk Hogan against the Dungeon of Doom, where he had to turn darker so he can fight the Giant and all this dumb
This is before the NWO Hogan, too. Then we had MJF And again, the man's a promo king.
Yeah.
He is. What did you think of it?
I mean, and what had happened with who was he?
Remember you talking about Darby, and then he.
Oh yeah, and Sting came out, and then he fed on Wardlow to Sting, and he ran out like a chicken shit. Yeah, okay, yeah.
But it was good. Then we had. It looks like they're building Anna Jay to be Britt Baker's next opponent.
Well, what's interesting
or is it Tay Conti?
No, well, I think it was with Anna Jay because here it was Anna Jay against.
Mm-hmm.
But not only I thought Baker's comments were interesting. He said, "Oh, you hang out with a bunch of losers. You lost to Elite Company. Who's she banging and who's Anna Jay banging?"
True. Oh shit! Are we going to see a mixed tag?
Maybe, although I've heard on a few occasions that some wrestlers I've heard on shoot interviews say Tony Khan doesn't like mixed tag matches.
Or intergender matches.
Right.
Which Impact's been doing lately because before they went to Spike, Impact was doing intergender matches. When they went to Spike, Spike said you can't do those.
Yeah.
Kiera Hogan, poor Kiera Hogan, hasn't won a match. Is she winning anything on Dark?
Well, that's the whole thing. See, that's my big problem. And look, I kind of feel weird by saying this. I mean, look, I appreciate that AEW want to give us 3 matches on YouTube. I get that. But here's the problem.
And squash matches.
Well, here's the problem. When you have these people, you have like her, you have Red Velvet, you have Brian Pillman Jr., and if you only watch the shows on TNT, they look like jobbers. They're always fucking losing.
Yeah.
But then they always try to build it up and say, oh, well, so-and-so's on a 6-winning streak, and they count Dark and Dark Evolution. I was like...
Who watches it? I mean, other than the hardcores. But, Kiera Hogan gets Penelope Ford wins, and then she uses the breast knucks. Who comes in and helps Kiera Hogan?
Ruby Soho.
Destination Unknown.
Yeah.
Do you see maybe a team of Kiera Hogan and Ruby?
Yeah, probably.
Because, remember...
Probably for one match. I don't think it'll be like a long program.
Yeah. Because they don't have a tag title match, tag team title like other companies do.
Not yet.
Then we have a mirror segment. It looks like they're building them up to be a world title contender.
Yeah.
Then we had Adam Page segment. Good promo, by the way, by Adam Page.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool. Then we had Bryan Danielson versus Your Best Friend.
Yes.
What did you think? Was it better than night 1?
I liked it better than night 1.
You liked it better than night 1?
I thought it was more of an even match. I thought it was more, actual striking, actual wrestling. It looked more like an athletic contest than the Suzuki. The Suzuki thing was just bullshit. You like, all right, old man, let's do. All right, we'll do your, exchange, take turns with the slap spot, and whatever. Okay.
It's like the whole Jay Lethal thing.
All right.
But overall, what'd you give AEW?
I'd say 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. Anything from the NWA?
Not a whole lot. Nick Aldis apparently he did a storyline where he was taken out, where he actually tagged with not Tim Storm, the other Storm though.
Is he a face now?
He's a face now. But what happened? They had a match where it was the former world champion, the one guy you saw in CCW. I forget his name. The one who's usually a commentator. Anyway, they had a match with Latimer and Chris Matthews.
Damn.
Masters or whatever.
So
what happened? Eventually, they pretended to shake hands and all that kind of stuff, and then Latimer and Chris Adonis turned on Nick Aldis and supposedly hurt his neck, and he went bye-byes. You also had Tyrus he defended his title against one of his stable, and the way they did it was actually pretty funny, because that whole deal with the world title, you get the lucky 7 before you get the world. So he wants to do a thing where he's going back and forth with his 2 flunkies to build up the matches. And then he got in a fight with somebody, I forget who. But then there maybe it looks like there's going to be a heel turn with Kratos on Damien Sandow.
Isn't he part of
Aaron Stevens? Yeah.
Team Filthy?
No.
Kratos?
No.
I thought he was because apparently he showed up at New Japan.
Okay. He may have been a while back, but yeah, not. I haven't seen him pair with him then. But anyway. Mm-hmm. Then there's teasing of the Pope possibly challenging for Trevor Murdoch, because if you remember, they were on the winning team of that Champions Challenge or whatever, where the winning team each got their own little, money in the bank, basically. So that's pretty much all you have going on there.
I saw this today, and I can't find it right now. Is Camille has her challenger lined up for the pay-per-view. I forgot who it was, but you'll be watching it. You watch Power more than I do, so you'll probably find out who it is.
Yeah, and there's another little storyline too where Kiera Hogan is there, and for some reason she's turning heel because she thinks that everybody's talking shit about her when nobody, especially Mickie James, and she got in Mickie James' face and they challenged her for a match. They have a card coming up somewhere in Kentucky, I believe.
Yeah, that's the pay-per-view.
And then
any means necessary.
Also, in the next few weeks, they made an announcement. It's going to be all women's matches. Power is going to be Empower.
I would like to see that. You said you liked Empower.
Yes.
You like it a lot. Yeah. And if Mickie was the booker,
mm-hmm.
what'd you think of her booking skills?
I think she did very well.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope Impact is smart, even though I trust Gail Kim's judgment, but I hope they give her a hand in booking that Impact card, too.
I still gotta get you that show. So you can watch it. Like I said, I liked it.
Yeah.
Then again, it's Impact, you know me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get the paycheck soon.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But
promises, yeah.
Promises. An idea I'm kicking around in my head.
Oh boy. Thought I heard rattling.
January 23rd. GCW. Hammerstein Ballroom.
You kicked it around last week, what?
I'm thinking of doing a trip, going down to Penn Station, here in Baltimore, and going to Grand Central. There's subway tunnels.
Right.
All the way around Grand Central, and take a subway to Hammerstein. It'll be my first GCW show. I have our mutual friend Bev's thinking about chiming in on this.
Make sure you wear forearm guards.
Yeah, especially if them boys show up. That we're going to have an upcoming Suzuki versus Gage match. Nick Gage versus Minoru Suzuki. Can he handle light tubes?
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Suzuki, I have a feeling that's foreplay for him.
And we're going to have the team, second gear team, who are the tag champs there in Los Angeles against the Briscoes. I think it's a one and done thing with the Briscoes, so it's just something for them to do.
Right.
Then again, I had been wrong before.
Yeah. Are they still with Ring of Honor at all?
As far as I know, they're the originals.
Yeah.
We're watching Street Profits right now. I like the promos, and I think Ford is great, but I was never a fan of Dawkins.
I'm not a fan of either one of them. It's like, whatever.
Yeah. But,
it's not meant for me.
Do you want to talk about Rhea Ripley?
Yeah, apparently, she's naked somewhere in a Chicago airport.
No, it was in Texas?
Oh, Texas airport.
Texas and New Mexico.
Well, at least she'll be warm.
Apparently she lost her gear in a luggage bag and the tag title belt.
And she pulled a Jericho, basically.
She pulled a Jericho, so we don't know if she's there tonight while we're taping this. Oh, look, the sun just got blotted out.
Right. And there are talks of that we might not see AJ in the near future.
Why is that?
There's talks about his contract going up and that he wants to leave.
Well, I remember he's in his 40s now, and you don't know how much longer he's got, how much he's got left in the tank.
Well, he's almost old enough to fight Suzuki then.
Well, maybe maybe he wants to go somewhere, like maybe go back home to Impact and go to New Japan.
I'm sure he would like to go to Japan. Nude. Especially as he'll probably reunite with the Gallows or Gallows and Anderson or whatever.
He'll go where his buddies are,
Yeah.
Because I think he said in an interview before his Twitch got shut down that he thinks Vince did Gallows and Anderson dirty.
Yeah. That's
But,
a shocker.
Yeah. But, like I said, the Braun Strowman, seeing him in Impact's going to be weird.
Yeah.
Under his real name, Adam Shearer. And if they get Bray, and if they get Rowan, would you see them as the faction again, or just as separates?
They'll probably want to get the band back together.
It was Bray's most successful run before The Fiend.
I'd like to see the three of them in AEW and go against the Dark Order.
I don't know.
Or better yet, have them get together with Aleister Black. Now that
Malachi.
be part of the, yeah, Malachi Black, the House of Black. Yup.
The House of Black, which sounds like a great name for a stable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is one of the matches for that's not advertised for Saudi Arabia, and it should be highly advertised for Saudi Arabia.
Right.
It would be Mustafa Ali against Mansoor, because Mansoor is a Saudi descent, right?
Yes.
And they're not advertising that match at all in Saudi Arabia.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, they're not advertising it here, but
Yeah, we don't know. Oh, against Hurt Business?
Cedric Alexander, yeah, could be interesting.
Yes, yeah. How'd you like the reuniting of the Hurt Business a little bit?
Too little, too late.
It's like putting a Band-Aid on an open gaping wound. There's that Zion, whatever his name is.
Yeah, it's worse than that. It's like when Sabu used to do when he would like cut himself to the bone and he'd be like, Fonzie, get me some duct tape. You know what I mean?
As long as we don't get the index. I don't want any more index.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, even though she looked great in a bikini, I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
That NXT logo looks like it should be on like an energy drink or can of Mountain Dew or something. That's ridiculous.
Goddamn right. Oh, I heard mixed reviews of this
They're
movie.
showing commercials for Halloween Kills. Yeah, okay.
And Jamie Lee Curtis is in it? Yes. Thank you, please. But in the world of pro wrestling, we will have the Saudi show, which me and you will stay far the fuck away from.
Right.
We'll just read results. Unlike you, I probably will watch SmackDown. Well, SmackDown's going to be on regular TV this coming week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
Unless-
They might switch with the FS1. I don't know. I'm surprised we haven't seen commercials for that on here. But
like I said, then you got AEW on a Saturday night again.
yeah.
With nobody watches on Saturday nights.
Well, I don't know about that.
Hold on a sec. We got viewership for Rampage and SmackDown. The official numbers came in. SmackDown did 866,000 viewers on FS1.
Right.
They pulled a 0.24 on the 18 to 49, which is down from the 0.52. And they were ranked number 3 on the cable and tied with Rampage on the key demographic. I'm going to the Rampage. Even though they did 8, we'll see what Rampage did. Rampage did. They pulled in 578,000 viewers. They basically did the Showbuzz is doing all. This is a report from Showbuzz. They drew a 0.24 in 1849. They actually pulled in more viewers than last week. Last week's viewers were 502,000 with a 0.17 in the 1849, and they were ranked number 4 overnight that night. So I hate to say this, Vince won.
Well, they I mean, Tony Khan even thought, but I would like to know. I would like to see how they went head to head as far as like the last half hour of SmackDown against first half hour's Rampage. Also, how the YouTube show went up against their shit too.
Yeah, but it's better quality programming was at AEW.
Oh, by far.
By far, yeah.
By far.
By far, yeah. But we got. Did you know, we were talking about the Roman Reigns comments about AEW?
Sure, go ahead.
Did you hear about this?
Yes, I did.
What did he consider the fan base of AEW?
Well, they were hardcore that baby the wrestlers, yeah.
Yeah, and we're sports entertainment. We broaden our appeal to a much better, broader audience. No, it's a wrestling show. You're bringing wrestling fans. Even though they bring in families here, I see more adults at AEW.
Yeah.
Do you think so? I see kids, but I don't see as many kids as you see at a WWE show.
Yeah, that's probably right. It's probably more young adults there, but as opposed to it's parents bringing their little kids. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, for the most part, Vince's shows are more family friendly, I think, than AEW's.
Yeah, and like I said, and less sing-alongy.
Less sing-alongy and less, fat dipshit chants and all that other garbage,
What did he call Lambert? Fat face something?
Fat face dipshit, yeah.
Fat face dipshit.
And they got the crowd to chant along with that, yeah.
Or Kenny No Balls.
Yeah, or Kenny No Balls.
You don't hear that on Raw.
Right.
You don't hear that on Raw. But you don't hear that on SmackDown. You don't even see that. Well, then again, they're trying the edgier air quote thing on NXT.
Right.
Oh, look, it's the guy crouching down interviewing Mansoor. Doing the crab. Oh,
wow, and Mustafa Ali's, jumping on. Okay, whatever. Ooh.
Nice heel turn, though.
Yeah.
Nice heel turn. Well, Mustafa Ali, remember Retribution and all that. He's a better heel.
Yeah.
He is a better heel. Oh God, excuse me. But it's going to be interesting. Another interesting week. If they go to FS1 and they do another supersized show, if they do the same thing.
Right.
I do not know when the next traditional WWE pay-per-view is. I think it's going to be Survivor Series.
Yeah, because aren't they?
They're cutting.
They were supposed to have TLC, and they decided to skip that
because you're going to have that day one pay-per-view on New Year's. Who's watching wrestling on New Year's Day? Everybody's going to be too hungover.
Well, I mean, a lot of people watch college football. Like they usually have a lot of the bowl games on New Year's Day.
True,
and plus there's the Winter Classic.
True.
Puckhead.
Okay, yeah, but Vince is probably who's going to go to a wrestling show on New Year's Day when everybody has to go to work the next day and they're going to still be hungover.
Probably a lot of people do. I mean, probably back in the day, probably Cornette talk about. A lot of wrestlers wrestled on holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that. They would have a lot of New Year's Eve shows.
I just saw something on the graphic on the bottom of this screen.
Yeah.
They're in Saudi Arabia coming Thursday, right?
Yes.
You know where SmackDown's going to be? You figure to be on one of the coastal cities closest? They're going to be Wichita, Kansas. That's an extra 2-3 hour flight.
I don't think it matters. I mean, they were in Buffalo when they had that mess.
Oh, yeah.
So they just called up NXT.
Well, if that shit happens again, do you think Vince is going to pull the plug or pull the cord on that one too?
I don't know. It's
the best picture from that mess was when Brody put up of him in front of the plane.
Yeah.
That was the best. Oh God, Jesus Christ!
What?
What's coming up tonight?
Oh, Finn Balor
versus Mace.
Yeah.
Dio Madden. What would they just call him, Dio Madden?
Well, he was Dio Madden before Brock Lesnar threw him through that table. You remember when he was an announcer?
Then he lost his memory and became members of Retribution.
Yeah.
And
kind of wish for his sake the opposite would happen.
What?
Him forgetting about that stupid Retribution.
Yeah. Well, we might see the other one, T-Bar, go back to his Donovan Dijakovic identity because he's talking about going back to Feast Your Eyes.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? I know you didn't watch it, but I know you've been sporadic on SmackDown. What do you think of McAfee on commentary?
I mean, he's okay.
He's okay. He's better. You mean Graves is better?
No, I didn't say that, but he's typical for what WWE wants. They try so not to be wrestling. They want to get some, they like getting people from ESPN and other non-wrestling outlets or whatever, and he does have some personality, okay, but
the football references, he had the weekend that SmackDown after Justin Tucker did that, it was on the pay-per-view. That Tucker broke that field goal record. All he did was Justin Tucker references.
Oh yeah, well,
big time Justin Tucker references.
I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're on Fox, and they do a lot of cross promotions with their football and NASCAR and all their other sporting events on that show. So,
but McAfee, who's got a better commentating team, Raw or SmackDown?
Oh God,
it's like eating shit or wearing it.
Yeah, it's a push because I mean it's the same thing. I mean, McAfee makes it sound a little refreshing, but for the most part, you still have Mr. Burns yelling in their ears in the headsets. And, the fact that, I remember, like, when Joey Styles was there and he was, like, complaining about, like, they wouldn't let him use the whole thing.
When he did that shoot promo?
Well, yeah, even before that, I remember, and it's like, said Jim Ross he said, don't worry, kid, I'll work with, telling him how to tell it WWE style where they just tell bullshit storylines instead of...
Yeah. Speaking of bullshit storylines, nice suit. Who killed the couch?
Yeah.
But,
Seth Rollins.
Oh, God. At least Seth Rollins. Did you see the picture that Becky Lynch put on social media?
Oh, with the baby playing with the...
No, this is the only lady who lifted the belt off of me.
Right.
I was like, oh, that's too cute.
Right. Yeah, I saw Lacey Evans was kind of like...
Oh, you want to talk about that? About the birth?
Yeah.
She did a water birth, basically in her living room in a wading pool.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You know why she did that? Because her husband because of COVID protocols, her husband wasn't allowed in the hospital.
Oh, jeez.
And she wanted to be there with her family. And if you saw the picture, her daughter, her now oldest kid, is right there next to her holding her hand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You don't let a little kid see that, but I guess, I don't know.
Whatever, yeah. But, what are you looking forward to this week coming up? Are you looking for typical AEW or AWA or even NW?
Well, yeah, there's definitely an NWA, especially if they're going to have the more women's matches in Power. There's even talk, they've been even saying this little thing where Velvet Sky may or may not come out of retirement. Okay.
There was a picture about that.
And of course, like you said, both AEW shows I'm looking forward to because they are just coming up with Magic Dream matches. I mean, it's like Bill Apter's got Bill Apter's wet dream right now with the.
Do you think somebody said Tony Khan's got the dream roster right now?
Oh, big time, yeah. And especially the revolving door, and it's not a forbidden door anymore. The only forbidden door is the one in Connecticut to Mr. Burns' office. But
yeah, who cares about this? Look at Zeus.
And it's Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
No, the only gripe I have about this is he's openly talking about murdering a human being.
Right.
I don't. Right? Really?
And of all places to talk about doing it too.
In Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
Yeah, where human rights violations happen left and right. But
or would it give you some stuff to throw? No.
We apologize.
No, don't be. I'm editing it, so don't worry about it.
But like I said, I'm looking forward. I'm actually looking curious about Bound for Glory. I'm really curious about Bound for Glory.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see. It's going to be a live show. It's not going to be taped. The time difference, I'll probably watch it the next day because of the time difference. Because I'm not a big fan of the time difference right now.
Right.
The start time. I want to see who shows up, and plus I want to see how. I heard the Iconics, the Inspiration has new theme music. They have already put it up online, and I haven't heard it yet. I probably won't hear it until the pay-per-view. Okay. And like you, probably looking forward to Mickey James and Deanna Presser tearing the house down.
There is one other thing I'm looking forward to as well. MLW Alpha, this is basically its fusion, but what they've been doing because of COVID since they canceled one of their tapings in Dallas, as we mentioned last week, they're kind of going back and forth combining matches from the July show we went to with the October show that I went to.
Okay.
And this coming week, if you remember when we were in July, there was a match between King Muertes and Richard Holiday.
Yeah.
And we saw the woman who basically taught you to spell Sid with Ricky Ricardo.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Toot.
Right. And got to the point where the lovely Toot slapped Ricky Ricardo, and I think she spilled some wine or water on him or something.
I was there for that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, I had to wake your ass up until, but yeah. But anyway, no.
I'm a grumpy old man. What are you
They
saying?
are actually, they actually did a thing on the previous episode of Fusion where they did a backstory where Alicia Toot had breaking news about some undercover, basically some misdealings about Cesar Duran digging up his past. And he said, yes, I find this aggravating, but I'm not going to confirm or deny these rumors, but it doesn't matter. I'm still going to bring the best lucha. I'm still going to bring you violence and all this other stuff. But you can tell they're going to turn him heel eventually. Which I thought was crazy because he was introduced sending people to sacrifice Selena De La Renta. Yeah. But what was interesting, they showed some quote-unquote security footage, and one of them had a woman going through his office looking for papers and then looking for a way out and then screaming and yelling in frustration at the camera. It looked like the woman who I paid for a match and owed me said she'd give me an interview, but wouldn't. Yeah. I'm not gonna mention any names, but anyway,
you digress.
Yeah, I think the woman who was allegedly sacrificed was in that spot. And
here's the question I want to pose to you, because we all know number one's WWE, number two promotion, even right down is a 1A and 1B is AEW.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the third promotion out there? You got Impact, you got Ring of Honor, you got MLW. GCW's making some moves right now, moving up the scales.
Right.
Who do you think is the number three promotion right now?
Number three promotion? Well, in this country, I would say it's New Japan. Around the world, I would actually say AEW is probably number three, and New Japan is number two.
Yeah. And you say Impact and Ring of Honor are further... Well, Impact's probably number 4 or Ring of Honor?
Trying to think. Probably right now Impact. I mean, maybe before the pandemic I would have said Ring of Honor, but... Ring of Honor's losing people with those open air shows, and look, I mean, I know they want to protect their wrestlers, and maybe... And it's in our backyard, so... It wouldn't surprise me if county executive John Olszewski might even be forcing them to do stupid... Well, no, they're not in Baltimore City, so they're not...
Johnny O.
Yeah. They're probably, probably forcing them to do... And regardless, they're under our favorite governing body, the Maryland State Athletic Commission. So.
Who won't let Chelsea Green wrestle, but she'll work in Impact.
Right.
Yeah. With the past GCW show, with the names that showed up, with Briscoes, with Thunder Rosa, Matt Cardona, Chelsea Green, Mick Foley.
Right.
They're making moves. And with the Hammerstein Ballroom, do you think Lauderdale's making the right moves right now?
What do you mean?
With this promotion, remember they making it a traveling company too.
Yeah, it's probably the smartest thing they could do.
You think he's the next Heyman?
I wouldn't go that far.
Because remember, Heyman took this little indie promotion, made it a traveling company, even though he broke it to death.
Yeah. I mean, right now, it's got some momentum, but it's got a way to go. I mean, they're only on...
They got the hardcore fan base.
They got the hardcore fan base, but they don't have any real TV. I mean, Fight TV is like,
Well, that's the next step because everybody's cutting the cord now because everybody's streaming.
Well, okay, it's whatever. I mean, it's...
But...
right now, exposure-wise, I think they have more momentum than the MLW, but they have about the same amount of TV, and they're basically depending on internet pay-per-views and YouTube and Fight TV. They're like NWA.
I don't think they're going to get TV deals because they have Nick Gage and hardcore.
They're probably too violent, unless
yeah. Because if you saw the match with Moxley, it got nasty. It got really nasty real quick.
Yeah.
And even Excalibur said on Dynamite about the wounds. He didn't say where he got it from.
Yeah.
But you saw scars on Mox.
Yeah. And the match with Jericho, especially,
the pizza.
They're probably scared to death, to have him around any matches with sponsors.
Yeah, and like I said, they need sponsors to be on television.
Yeah.
Unless Car Shield's doing ads.
Yeah. Well, they actually still are on NWA. They're just not doing Ric Flair ones. They're doing... I think before they did the Ric Flair ones, they had a spot with Ice-T, and that's what they're showing now.
Wasn't Eli Drake on there?
Huh?
Wasn't Eli Drake?
He was in the Ric Flair ones, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's now on I haven't seen him on NXT in 2 weeks.
No LA Knight.
Oh. No LA Knight. He's like on the side of a milk carton now.
Stupid Vince, I swear.
Again, don't know what to do. Pow, you're over this.
Dummy! Yeah.
The promo piece for the Hammerstein, the video that I posted on Facebook, we'll be on that in a second. One of the things was these guys have been told the things they couldn't do. And when they start Cardona, he says, you got all the pieces of the puzzle, but you're not a main eventer. And when they showed Nick Gage, he says, you're a fucking criminal and a fucking drug addict. We don't want nothing to do with you. And with Nick Gage, he's coming out of the hole he's in, I think. And
what, in his teeth?
Being in jail, the bank robbery. I think he learned his lesson. And we'll get to Dark Side real quick. Nick Gage got that national level. With AEW, and I think they helped and didn't Moxley wear a GCW hoodie to the ring one time? And he's still, I think, their world champion. So we're going to see Mox against somebody in that company soon. I don't know when, or I think it's going to be the LA show coming up. Now, do you want to talk about Dark Side?
Yes. Much rather talk about than what we're seeing right now with
with Stoner Boy.
Yeah.
Hey Randy.
Stoner Boy and the Orton, yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of the Dark Side of the Ring? I really didn't know that much until I saw that. I was like, wow.
Poor Luna.
Gertrude was her real name. I never knew that.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know this, but this is no lie. My grandmother on my mother's side was named Gertrude, so it's like, I don't know, she was down in the South, that was a common name.
Oh, well, I remember the old picture book, photo album book I had of all the wrestlers? Yeah. I tried to look for, yesterday, as of this past weekend, I tried to look for the picture of being Luna, and I would put it up online. And remember, that voice went everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Hey, how you doing? Right.
I never knew about how she got started being a heel with Sullivan and how that whole segment was.
That's where I first saw her. I remember seeing her in the magazines.
In the magazines, but that segment where she's supposed to be presenting something.
Right. Well, it's because she wanted to be like her Aunt Vivian, basically.
And when they talked to Alundra, I mean, when they talked to Medusa, and Medusa was an open book. It's a wonder they didn't talk.
Yeah.
They talked to Gangrel, which I knew they were married.
Yeah.
Who else were you surprised they didn't talk to?
Well,
they talked to Cornette, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, and I saw him talk about it on his own show on YouTube, and he was basically saying he liked her, and basically it was like one match where they met in a high school or something, and she potatoed him, and he said, but it's like, I'll put any woman over. I think I've had every woman in the business beat me up at one time or another, so.
She was ahead of her time, and when she came in during the Attitude Era when they were doing bra and panty matches, I felt sorry for her. I really felt sorry for her during all this bullshit.
She was ahead of her time. I mean, she would probably thrive right now if she were wrestling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her and Daphne were trendsetters.
Yeah.
Do you think so? With the gimmicks we're seeing, the spooky gimmicks we're seeing now?
Yeah, yeah.
If she still was in the business, and she passed away in 2007, they said?
Yeah.
She could have gone to TNA. They were giving her a spot in TNA back then, wouldn't they?
Probably.
And it's not like they're a traveling company back then. They were,
but I mean, she went through a lot of shit, and then it's like when she was in WWE, she was with the Oddities and all that other bullshit.
Oddities, then Goldust going through his Marilyn Manson phase.
Yeah.
And of course Bigelow. So why they didn't talk to Dustin about her?
Yeah.
And what was the other female wrestler they talked to? I can't remember her name. Wasn't she in Power Glow or some shit like that?
I forget. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
But she knew Vivian, and she knew I never knew that Butcher adopted her.
Yeah.
I thought she was a member of that family. I never knew about that. Yeah.
Yeah, they adopt. Yeah.
And
because I always wondered why she didn't look like any of them, and I was grateful for her sake that was the case.
And I never did Butcher have a stroke?
Yeah, he sounded something was wrong, or maybe just his age, or
was this his age, or I know he's French Canadian, but the accent doesn't cause that.
He just had a thick accent. I think he's just old, had a thick accent.
Yeah.
I mean, because he kind of sounded like Mad Dog. A little bit, but...
What's your favorite Mad Dog Vachon memory? I got mine. It's in the WWE.
Well, there's a couple things... Oh, there's a few things. It's like, I remember seeing, like, the spectacular... The thing about the AWA.
Yeah.
He was...
I remember that, yeah.
And he said he wanted to put Crusher Blackwell in a pine box. I mentioned, I have this... pine box, and it's like I was away for a while in the mines where it was cold and I was able to think, and I thought to myself, what can I do but make a pine box and it was hilarious. He was like, he looked like Animal from the Muppets taking his hammer and nails and painting.
No, my favorite moment, didn't he sit at ringside for a WWE pay-per-view, Shawn Michaels versus Kevin Nash?
Oh, with the leg?
The leg,
that
yes.
was funny, okay. Yeah.
Who used the leg? I forgot. Was it Shawn?
Yeah.
Shawn was aiming for the bleachers.
The only other time I saw him in WWF was on the Tuesday Night Titans, where they had a thing where him, I think, it was like a bunch of heels, like him, Captain Lou, who was Johnny Valiant, and a couple people there trying to teach George the Animal Steel how to talk. And it's like, you're like saying, come on, George, you can do it. Come on, George, you can do it. And they're chanting, George, 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 George. And then he's like, Pumpernickel.
Oh, God.
I mean, it was stupid.
I remember that. I do remember that. Oh, that was when Vince wanted to be Johnny Carson. Jesus fucking Christ.
I wish I would have seen more AWA or even like some like the Canadian summer territory.
Wasn't he in NWA also?
Oh yeah, he was a lot of places, but most of my memories of him were like in people talking about him, including like they're playing running in AWA, then Roddy Piper basically, you know, it was like, I guess Mad Dog was like riding with him and he kept calling him a cocksucker, you know. He's like, cocksucker, we have to get out of here. You know, it's like.
The only Butcher for Sean memories I have was him as a jobber in the 80s, did the WWE.
Yeah.
And him and, what was the one guy who wore the glove, the Rene Goulet?
Yeah.
The French-Canadian connection.
Mm.
But I don't know, I think the XPW episode is coming up.
It's probably coming soon.
I'm very interested in that because I want to see if they cover the whole Messiah thing.
Right.
Most of the episodes going to be Messiah, I think, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised they don't do a show just on that. Oh, yeah.
I still like it. Ollie Davis and Russell Tucker goes, Bearcat. Meow.
All right. Well, what else do you want to talk about? Because we're
almost 2 hours. I'm done.
All right. All right. Give the socials and nobody gives a shit about.
Christopher James Filato on Facebook and that's C Filato on Twitter.
Okay. And folks, thanks for listening. Like, share, subscribe.
Spread the word.
Right. And as you go, please follow the advice that Maki Ito does for our closing greeting.
Yes.
All right.
Sayonara, son of a bitch.
No. It's like...
Motherfucker.
No, that was the beginning. No, you messed it up already. All right, we gotta go, folks.
See ya.
Stay safe and have a nice day, shitheads! What up?